And it's a pleasure again to introduce our next speaker. It's Lisa Noffo, and Lisa, a veteran of the state staff idea sharing session, as we noted, she and David and Cindy Lair and some others were the start of this at a small meeting in Seattle way back in 2004 or 5. We're still trying to figure that out, I think. Stu Tree probably was, what's that? And so, you know, just to honor Lisa and her role in promoting our NASCA meetings and our state staff idea sharing session. Lisa, thanks so much for all the work you do. Your presentation will be on Oklahoma's YouTube training video.
Thank you, Ray. What? Thank you for those kind words. I appreciate those very much. So just like everyone that's on this call and is in every aspect of life right now, normal is no longer normal. And so we have to find ways to do things and to reach our audience. And I'm really appreciative of some of the ideas that I'm getting from some of these other presentations that I'm hopeful that we can implement here in our state as well. And so, Ray, I'm trying to see, there we go. So what we have done in the past, and I'll show you a map to start off with, if I can get it to go. There we go. So this would be a typical year. This was most of last year, accounting for our water quality staff, our soil health staff, and the outreach events and their in-person presence in conservation districts. So you can see we cut a pretty wide swath until COVID hit. And so now we're doing things a little bit differently in how we conduct business, whether it's meeting in the parking lot, having a drive-by drop-off for paperwork. Some of our districts are fortunate enough to have a barn or enclosure where they can put videos up or they can social distance and still have a board meeting. But like many districts and many state organizations, each year, and for us in the fall, area meetings was our opportunity with our state association to get together with our districts on an area basis and share information and provide training and those sorts of things to all of our conservation districts. And so we knew that wasn't going to be able to happen this year. And through some brainstorming, we decided to build a YouTube video library. And so we as a group, as a partnership with NRCS, our state association, employees association, all of our usual partners, we brainstormed a list of over 55 video ideas and then narrowed it down to a goal that we could hit so that we could get these videos out to our districts starting in September. And then our goal was to require districts to watch one of those at each of their board meetings going on through the winter, hoping that they would note, requiring them to note in their minutes which videos they watched, if they're doing them individually as directors, that they record which ones they're watching so that we have an idea of what message is getting to them. So the really good thing was that, you know, there's many of us that don't like being video stars. And so we were able to get several different partners together to provide some information for us so that it wasn't all on our state staff to create these and build them. So we've used partner agencies, news media, we have topic specialists, we have land managers, and then a wide variety of topics from district procedures, very program specific, lots of soil health videos that are mini videos on plant ID and those sorts of things. And so Brian, our public information officer, has built a catalog, if you will, of all the different videos that we have online. at the time when I sent this to Ray, this was the list that we had. Since then, we've added a few more. We were able to take advantage of some folks at Oklahoma State University to put a session together on Oklahoma's Open Meeting Act, as well as the state parliamentarian put our basic parliamentary procedure together. And then our state association, employees association, worked on the youth contest. And then one of our directors from a district has been working in the mental health and farm stress arena with American Farmers and Ranchers. And so we have a wide variety of different videos for folks to watch. So when I put this slide together, this one was coming soon. It's actually on there now, where we took opportunity to use one of our district managers in a relatively urban setting in Stillwater, Oklahoma, where she walked us through conducting the official upstream flood control dam inspection using the NRCS form PDM3 and how to get that completed, which is a yearly requirement for districts in our state. And so that one has been getting quite a few views right now as well. So with that, what I'd like to do, Ray, and hopefully this will work, this is one of our more high quality developed videos where OSU had put it together. We're very involved with prescribed burn associations and wanted to give you just a sample of what that video looked like. So Ray, you give it a try.
Fingers crossed. Here we go, Lisa.
Okay.
Fire is an essential part of all the ecosystems here in the U.S. and throughout the world. But one of the biggest issues landowners have is getting fire back on their property. And they're trying to do that. Again, concerns about liability, about risk, and things like that have always been a big concern for private landowners. So one of the ways that we've found, and probably the best way that we've found to get fire back on the ground and to get private landowners burning, is through the use of prescribed burn associations.
To me, that's a group of landowners with a common interest to put fire on the landscape, working together to maximize their resources.
It's neighbors helping neighbors, pooling resources to get the job done, to improve our rangelands in an effective, safe manner.
The biggest one is they're scared of it getting away and the liability involved with it.
People are reluctant to burn because of various reasons, including being just scared. They're scared of the fire, of escapes, and they don't have the knowledge and the ability to burn, or the resources.
One's a sociological barrier. I mean, fire has always been portrayed as big and evil and dangerous, and quite frankly, I think a lot of folks are scared of it, and they don't realize that under prescribed conditions, you can fairly well predict what your fire is going to do, and it's a fairly safe practice.
I think some of the barriers that people have are limitations of personnel, resources, equipment, the skill base, the knowledge, and their fear of fire, their general fear of fire because of lack of education about it and how to apply it to the land effectively.
The first thing that it does is get some people out there actually see fire on the landscape, see a fire that's been intentionally lit under a prescribed set of conditions, and it behaves like it's supposed to, and at the end of the day there's no or minimal escape. The smoke clears, it's burned like it was supposed to be burned, nobody's hurt, and 2 or 3 times when you experience that, all of a sudden you're one of fire's biggest proponents.
So as you get a group of people together to burn, they all learn how to burn. They work with each other. After a while, you know, they basically decrease the chance that a fire is ever going to get away. And therefore the liability of a set of group of people that works together, in my mind, sort of disappears. Like we first started, it gives a landowner a place to go and a tool to use that minimizes their liability, that's what keeps people from doing it.
And that's the biggest benefit that they have.
The structure of the burn associations varies because it's kind of left up to the burn associations itself exactly how they want to run the organization. Typically, they'll have a president, a vice president, a treasurer. Those, I think, are the three offices that they really need to have. And the bylaws are structured to where the state organization actually has a generic set of bylaws that local burn associations can adopt if they want to. They basically adopt bylaws and elect the president, the vice president, and the treasurer. And then the body of the burn association basically dictates how that burn association is run, whether they want to structure it where I know some burn associations actually want to vet all the burn plans that burn association members are going to implement, and there are other burn associations that don't do that. So it can range from being really formal to very informal. Typically, I think they're relatively informal though.
There's three key factors that we need to consider when starting a PBA. First and foremost, we've got to gather together a group of interested landowners. Identify that group of people that want to start using fire, want to start putting fire on the land, get those folks together. The next thing that's most important is we've got to pick a leader from in that group or identify a leader well before we start the meeting or get the process going. Somebody that wants to step up and just take that leadership role. And then the third final thing, and probably one of the most important things, is having someone there to help provide technical assistance and advice. This is usually somebody from a federal agency, state agency, cooperative extension that can help this group, nurture them along, help them with writing fire plans, help them with getting grant money.
Wow, what a presentation, Lisa. Let's see if we can get you back on here. And the entire session is just absolutely phenomenal. So those that want to go up can go up and find that in the YouTube video. Is that correct? And it's listed there.
So yeah, that's the address. Once we get back to the presentation,
There you
yeah,
go.
yep, there's the link to our YouTube channel. I'll tell you that we've had the first one we threw out there was an introductory video that our executive director, our state association president, and our state conservationist put together. That one has received over 355 views, and many of our other ones have exceeded 130 to 145. So we think that this has some longevity to it that will give our districts, new staff, new directors, an opportunity to come back and continue to add topics as we go. One of our governor's big statements and thoughts is that we want to be a top 10 state. And so what we want to continue to show folks in the legislature is that Oklahoma is already a top 10 state in conservation. So that's just one more way for us to do so. So I appreciate the time this afternoon, Ray, and I'm tickled that the video worked so well, and hope folks will go out and take a look at some of the others that we've put together.